Hey everyone, hope you're enjoying the summer. Today I'm going to share with you a possible setup here in EURCAD. Now, first we need to mention that we're in extremely slow period, pretty much for all the markets. We do see some moves, such as silver, gold moving a bit. But in general, the past 1 or 2 weeks for most of the markets, at least the ones that I'm following, we see a lot of chop and zigzags. So trade carefully and trade with lower risk is my first suggestion. Now back to EURCAD. What we can see here, and I need to go to weekly, monthly charts, is the fact that the price just tested this previous swing low here. We can see a bit of a support being formed from the higher time frames as well. And overall, once you see the price going to such levels on the higher time frames, usually you're going to get some kind of reaction. Now, we're not looking for thousands of pips, of course. We are just looking for this short-term reaction from this level, the bounce off of the level, where we can enjoy and possibly make some money out of it, right? So this is where the idea starts to form. We're clearly in a bearish trend. This is counter trend, which automatically puts it in the aggressive category. For me, that means definitely using lower risk if at all the setup is going to take the shape and the form of what I'm expecting to happen, and only then going to attack it. So going down through the lower time frames, we see potential divergence here on weekly chart, which was not yet completed. But since today it's Friday, we can see this beautiful candle pattern. And if this candle ends as it is, we know what's supposed to happen next. We need to see some bullish moves. So follow up on that at the end of the day, and actually at the end of the week, what's going to happen. False convergence here, which usually means we need to see a sharp move in the opposite direction. And then moving down to the 4-hour chart, where we can actually see this divergence happening on RSI. This is actually one leg divergence, and we get a breakout of this zone. Now, for whatever reason, the price stopped here. First time, broke below it, pull back to this level, continuation lower, news, and again, we're reaching exactly this level. So for whatever reason, the price is respecting that zone, and now we have broken back above it, closed back above it, and started consolidating in this zone. Now, my idea in terms of waves here would be very simple. If the price manages to deliver something like that, whether this is going to develop as ABC later on, coming down to this zone, which by the way comes from the supply, we can see that there is definitely a zone of interest here and then here. So basically, if the price manages to create this impulsive structure right there, breaking above was at 131.80 plus zone, that would be the least confirmation we can expect. And when I say the least, I'm referring to the reliability of a reversal coming from a 1-hour chart, okay, which again makes it a bit more aggressive because we can see this is a massive trend to the downside, but the level is a level. So we follow up on the facts. If it happens, pullbacks are supposed to provide us with bullish opportunities here, okay? Now, the further confirmation that I'm looking at is coming from another software. Just give it a second to load and look what's happening now. The long-term direction, which is the combination of these 3 time frames, agrees with the analysis that we just mentioned, that we're in a strong bearish trend. This is pretty clear, pretty obvious, okay? In the midterm, we can see that the bullish correction is taking place and the software is already suggesting to start looking for sells. On the shorter term, however, we can see that there is a possibility for bullish reversal, which is taking place at the moment, which makes this signal, when we combine all of it, right? We're looking at all the available information. We should be thinking twice whether we want to be looking for the sells if this is a potential reversal on the lower time frames. And now combining that with the manual analysis as well, we see that the price is indeed in a place where we might be looking at potential short-term reversal at least, right? Based on Elliott waves, the word possible is the keyword as well, because we currently have this, right? So far, that's only a possibility of turning the market into an impulsive structure on the 1 hour chart. So again, I'm looking at multiple factors, I would call them, right? And when all of them overlap, and well, maybe not to no basis, but in general, they're pointing to the same kind of information. In the very short term, we might be looking at bullish opportunities, which later on, as long as this doesn't change, might be turning into a sell opportunity, because on the lower time frame, this pullback is a micro bullish trend, right? And this is exactly why we have 3 segments here. So this mini micro short-term bullish trend could be delivering the buys, and later on it could be turning into a sell opportunity, whether coming from the mid-term or longer-term setups. So again, we can go to the trading chart and the template. I mean, what we can see is besides these 2 levels, and we can go into the 4 hour chart, there are zones which fit perfectly with these 2 that are currently trapping the price in between, right? So if this is indeed going to turn into an impulse, we definitely need to see an attempt at least for a breakout above this zone. This is, I believe, monthly here. Yeah, monthly support. We also have weekly pivots, right? So expecting the price to go ahead and finish somewhere around that zone right here, give us the pullback, and I would love to see this level holding by all means, which means the price to come down ideally somewhere near the top of that zone right here, okay? And start giving us the push to the upside as we would be expecting it. So this is a very good example of discretionary analysis and trading. You're looking at multiple factors, you're combining all the information, all the outputs that the different methods are giving you, you're combining that with levels, and you kind of go to the conclusion whether you want to be taking the risk and trying this opportunity or not. In my opinion, as long as that delivers, okay, something like that, I would be willing to go ahead and look for buys during the corrective phase here for at least ABC structure, which could be developing into something else later on, but that would be my expectation for the very short, immediate term. All right, guys, that would be all for this one. If you have questions, find me in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. Have a good weekend.